shit a long way. Long way, hit the long way. Long way, 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 shit long way, 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 shit a long way. Gotta get the shit a long way. Gotta get the shit a long way. Gotta get the shit a long way. Gotta know what she don't really understand, man. Gotta know what she don't really understand, man. Gotta get a meal, but she don't understand, man. She be trippin' every day, she be trippin' every way. But I gotta get the shit a long way. Tryna get money every single way. Tryna get money every single day, yeah. Get money every single way, every day. Every day we gotta get paid, yeah. Every day we gotta get paid, yeah. I'm feeling like we be a new slave, yeah. No, we gotta finish rich, no, we gotta finish rich. Got a new bitch, she don't understand rich. She don't understand niggas gotta get rich. She don't understand, sometimes we gotta hit lit. No, we ain't hit lit, tryna get the long way, yeah. Tryna get the shit the long way, yeah. Cause you tryna wrap up a entree, yeah. Told you the other day that did my phone strong. We gon' shoot the long way, we gon' get the long way, yeah. Yeah, get the shit the long way. My bitch be trippin' back and forth like a pawn way. My name is Tari, I ain't playing games, so I'm done Tari. Yesterday she told me that she about to leave, man. I said fuck it, bitch, we gonna get some money. I said fuck it, bitch, I'm about to get some money. So what I do today, I want to get some money, yeah. Cause we gon' get the shit the long way, long way, we gon' get shit the long way, yeah. Back and forth like the pawn way, yeah. Man, I'ma get the shit the long way, get the shit the long way. Just the only way today, because they go with shit's crazy. We got them wearing masks, we the new slaves, and we be wearing this shit like every day. We be okay, we gon' be okay, they gon' be okay, they gon' be okay for me, yeah. So we gon' get the shit the long way, 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 yeah, we get the shit the long way, yeah. Cause we gon' be okay, we gon' be okay, yeah, we gon' get the long way, yeah.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to another edition of Savings Minus Debt. I'm your host, LJ Young. Hold on, let me turn this down a little bit. 1 second. What's up, Malika? What's up? I'm just an alien. It's crazy when I'm just an alien and I go back and forth on comments, man. I bet you when debt slaves read our comments, they're probably like, what the fuck are they talking about? Anyway, I am here to share a gift. Okay,
Yeah.
remove. Okay, I'm here to share a gift that is truly a gift. It most definitely truly is a gift. And the gift is that I now understand that capitalism is psychological. I understand that. What comes along with that gift is understanding that none of this works without the economy cannot work without people, human beings. It cannot work. Because out of all the species on Earth, humans are the only ones that consume unnecessarily. Humans, yes, humans. Also, with humans, we all die. That's just part of the human cycle. That we're born one day and then we die one day. That's how it. Everybody understands this. That's how it works. With psychological capitalism, there must be people that understand it, while the majority continue to must not understand it. That's how it works. I believe, because I was trying to figure out for the longest the purpose of my gift. It's bigger than just getting people out of debt. It's owning yourself and helping you understand that that is a choice if you want to stay in the debt matrix, what I call the debt matrix. The majority live in what I call the debt matrix inside of Psychological capitalism, there's a physical excuse me, it's a psychological place that debt slaves are trapped because they don't know they're in debt. They don't own in psychological capitalism, debt slaves own nothing because they cannot own nothing because that would be against the laws of mathematics. That's how that works. I'm here to help those people that the very few of us that understand how it works, because it must be people that understand it. They work hand in hand. The people that understand it and also understand that none of this works without the majority being debt slaves, period. That is crystal clear. But the wonderful thing about psychological capitalism, it's all a choice. You either trust the calculator or you don't. That's it. If you don't trust the calculator, guess what? You'll never own yourself ever. It doesn't matter if you understand what it means. What am I talking about? What am I talking about? How come nobody else says it? That you better stop. Yeah, you better stop all that. You better stop all that. If you ever want to own yourself, in psychological capitalism, debt slaves can own nothing, not even themselves. You guys don't even own yourself. The majority of what you see are all mathematical illusions. That's a fact. Remember that. I only speak facts. I only say things that I can 100% prove to be true. Do you understand me? Prove. That means I'm never wrong, ever. And when you understand this, guess what? You ever see that movie Limitless? You ever see that movie Limitless? SMD is the NZT. If you haven't seen the movie, just kind of, just type in Limitless on the YouTube and type in NZT or something like. There's this pill that this guy can take and swallow it. Next thing you know, he's smart. He's looking at all these numbers fly across the screen, fly across the screen. He can mathematically do all these things, and he can understand the stock market and all that stuff. I'm here to tell you something. All of that is true. That is exactly true. That's exactly right. But when you guys see numbers, you guys forget you're watching a movie. They're trying to show you something that only happens psychologically. Do you understand? It only happens psychologically. You cannot see it or feel it or smell it, nothing. You can't do that. So they're trying their best in a movie to show you something physically that's only psychological. When you understand this, everything is you can see everything just like that, especially in the finance world. Believe that. And when you become one of the very few that understand this, that means you're different than billions of people with a B, billion, billions, because capitalism is worldwide. It's not just here in the US, it's everywhere. What do you mean? It's everywhere. They just use different paper, okay? Because in psychological capitalism, guess what? That's like no currency exists for you, not even the physical stuff you can see and hold and smell, not even that. When you're a debt slave, it's against the laws of mathematics for you guys to have any kind of currency, anything, gold, silver, crypto, cash in your pocket, change in, Coke jars in the room, in the kids' room. None of that exists. It's not there. When you understand the new rules, you're like, "Oh, hmm, that's why you're that's why you're supposed to always pay your taxes properly. Ah, I get it. Got it." 'Cause if you do it right, guess what? You can legally never pay taxes again. Did you know that, debt slave? Legally. Now you probably thinking to yourself, "What the what? Is that possible?" Yes, it's possible. Yes, it is. Oh, that's why you don't hide money. That's why you don't pretend you that's why you don't earn money over there and pretend to the IRS that you didn't. Oh, because you don't have to do that. You're born. As soon as you're born, guess what they say? Here are the rules in the United States of America. Here's the financial rules right here. This is what you can do, and this is what you can't do financially. You don't get just to be you don't just to be born and think you can just come and change them when they've been here for centuries. You can't believe that, okay? I don't want you to believe that. Now trust me, okay? I don't know why me, why I was chosen to learn something that I'm sure is generational, and I learned it. I happen to learn this and understand capitalism is psychological in my generation for some unknown reason. It's just like the movie. Go watch the movie and then remember what I said. SMD is the NZT in the Limitless movie, for sure. Exactly. You're probably thinking, "Well, how do you know that, LJ? How do you know that you have a gift?" I'll tell you, because if debt slaves knew what I knew, the housing market couldn't exist. You're probably thinking, "What? What does that mean?" Because I understand that mortgages cannot buy houses. Mortgages buy people. They don't buy houses. Only cash can buy a house. Mortgage buys people. Hey, and I accept that. Now, when I say this to you, it it doesn't matter if you get it or understand. I'm just telling you a fact. That's it. You can choose to believe the fact or not. That is totally up to you. But that's the only thing I speak on the mic. That's what makes me different than everybody, financially speaking, that you've ever heard on any motherfucking platform on the internet. Nobody's like me. Nobody. And I'm cursed. I'm not cursing to brag, okay? I want you to understand that. I'm cursing because I'm spitting facts. That's what it is. And I just wanna make sure it's clear. I wanna make sure it's clear. From this point out from this point out on, I'm gonna make sure everybody understands I am clearly different than millions and billions of people. I wanna make sure that's clear. I don't want you coming to this video later talking about, "What is he talking about? He think he's bigger than anybody." Then I want you to every time you hear that little voice in the back of your head start talking that dumbass ego shit, I want you to say to yourself, "But is this math right?" Every time that happens, "But is it," I want you to repeat to yourself, "But is this math right?" The more you do that, the more it'll help you come out of the debt matrix, and then you'll realize you've never owned yourself all your life. If you've been in debt all your life and you thought car payments and credit card payments and all these payments were part of life, that means you've been in debt all your life, which also means you have never owned yourself ever, ever. And I'm here to tell you on the mic right now, I'm here to tell you something. If you've never owned yourself, you have no idea what you're missing. You have no clue if you've never owned yourself. You have no idea what you're missing. Go watch the movie Limitless. The main character, pretend that's me, but I'm that way naturally. You know how in the movies, they make his eyes look different in the movies when he's got the knowledge and his eyes look different, they make the light brighter. All of that is true. You can see it in the eyes. I wanna make sure it's clear. You can see it in the eyes. When people look in my eyes, they can say, "Oh, man, this dude knows something that we." Exactly, I'm telling you that. That's true. There must be people that also understand, and let me tell you something. When you understand this, when you understand that capitalism is psychological and no currency exists for any way for debt slaves, there's no reason to deceive people, steal from people, rip people off, lie to them, take their money, you know, cheat cheat on them with money, cheat on taxes. None of that kind of stuff is accepted because it's unnecessary, totally unnecessary. And then I truly understand, like when you look up, just Google how much they print a $100 bill for, right? You just Google it. They tell you right there. The government just tells you. So look, hey, we make $100 bill for 14 cents. Now, as a regular person, you don't know what to think in this moment. Okay, when you look and say, "Wow, they made $100 bill for 14 cents." Now, when you think about that, you're like, which one is it worth? Is it worth 14 cents or $100 bill? Well, this is what I call the glitch in the debt matrix. You That's a sign to tell you that it's psychological. The reason why that kinda doesn't make sense, they're just trying to tell you something. That the reason it's psychological. You can believe it's 14 cents or you can believe it's worth $100. That's totally up to you. But now that I understand no currency exists for debt slaves, you know what I believe? 14 cents. That's what I believe. And then when you look and see what other human beings do to other people over $100, like there have been people that have been killed over $100, but when you understand it's actually 14 cents, that's a whole totally different view. That's a totally different view. So when they say, when the movies try to tell you about different dimensions and they try to show you physically, remember, movies are doing their best to make something physical that's only psychological. But if you're watching a movie and you forget that, that's on you. If you forget that you're watching a movie, that's on you. But some of those movies try to show you things physically, like just like the movie The Matrix. That's true. That's true. When you see the parts of those guys, they're standing in crowds and everybody's walking around them. They can't see you. They don't know what to. That's you guys in the background. I promise you that. That's all you. And that's me and people like me looking at you, but you can't see us because we look like you. Once I own myself and then I look at people like Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos or Warren Buffett, you know what I see? People that found themselves early. Because once you own yourself, you you immediately, well, not immediately, it takes a minute because you gotta get adjusted, but after a while, you're gonna realize there are no limits. The only limits that are created, especially the physical, because limits are only physical. There are no limits psychological. But when you're in debt, you don't really understand that. You don't understand physical limits are the only limits that exist. So the thing that most debt slaves don't know, step 1, you have to own yourself. That's the first physical part. Before you even can understand that there are no limits psychological, you have to own yourself physically. If you've accepted of never paying off your student loan debt, you might as well just leave this video now because you can never understand what I'm talking about because that would be against the laws of mathematics. With no with knowing no mortgage can buy a house, if you have a mortgage and your student loan debt is older than your mortgage, you might as well just click off the video right now. You can never understand what I'm talking about, ever. Your student loan debt is older than your mortgage. You're saving. You got money coming out of your check for 401k, IRAs, and then you got some money coming out for some investments in the stock market. You might as well just leave right now. Just click close on this video. Payments are a sign that you are the stock in stock market. That's you. Payment. That makes you the stock, which is all the choice. It's all the choice. You guys don't know the stock market would not exist without you because it could not exist without you. So you are the stock market. You once you take the SMB NZT, there's no going back. Like in the movie, he had to keep taking it, or he's going to die or something. Something in that movie. That's all. That's all part of the movie stuff. With this one, it's natural. So you're never going to die ever. I mean, you're human. You're going to die, but you're not going to die from knowing having the knowledge. That's what I mean. And it gets bigger, and it gets bigger. And then if you take this knowledge and you go into the finance game, let me tell you something. Nobody in whatever area of finance you choose to do, nobody will be able to fuck with you. And I'm gonna tell you this right now. Say like this. You take this knowledge and become the IRS agent, you take this knowledge and you become an IRS agent, you'll be the top IRS agent ever. They will not know how you're doing it. They'll be like, "How do you do it?" I know capitalism is psychological. What? What is that? Do they train for that? What is that? Is that an academy? Nope, nope, and no. Sure don't. Maybe. I might be wrong on that. That's more it's probably let's say, I guarantee you they have people like me working there. Guaranteed. 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 Okay, saying nobody's there, that's ego. So, because I remember, I discovered this. I didn't design it. I didn't create it. Okay? Let's make sure that's clear. I discovered this. I did not create it. I'm just saying things that make mathematical sense to me. That's why I say the things I say. What's up, Andre, Mel, J Money? Now, this pill, unlike the movie in the movie Limitless, this pill you can't just swallow, just take a little, put your 2 fingers on it and throw it down your throat. This pill is big. You gotta take this pill, you gotta cut it down in pieces because you can't swallow it, it's too big. It's too big, you gotta take it in pieces because your whole life is gonna change forever. Once you own yourself, your whole entire life changes, not just financially, everything changes. When you go get a job, the people that are interviewing you, they're gonna know that you are different when you come into an interview. They're gonna know right away. especially if, like, say, like, you're really good at what you do as an occupation, right? But you're nervous about demanding the wage that you believe you deserve in your mind. You know, you hold back. "Yeah, if I ask for too much, they might not hire me." Hey, listen, you know what's causing that? Debt. If you didn't have any debt, you'd walk into the office and you would have your salary requirements already written down in your resume. They don't people that businesses that receive resumes, they don't get people coming in telling them the salary that they are gonna pay them to even work there. You understand? That doesn't happen. But when you own yourself, that is what happens. You walk in, you know how most jobs, they have this convoluted, "Hey, step here, A, B, C, K," then you're here for 5 years, and, then you move up to a J and a K, and then you no, fuck all that. No, this here's my salary requirements. I don't care about your pay scale. Do you wanna produce at this company? Because when I'm here, I'm 100% here. So do you wanna produce in this company? Yeah, I'm very, very good at what I do. You can see my resume, right? Yeah, that's what you're gonna pay me. That's what you're gonna pay me, or else I'm not working here. Now I know most of you guys think, "Oh my god, that's unbelievable." No, I'm telling you something that's true, and that's fact. I don't want you guys thinking that people who are debt free don't have jobs. I don't want you guys thinking like that. I'm just telling you, people who are debt free fully understand that a job is a tool, nothing more. You're not there to make friends because most of you guys have jobs because you have to be there. So a person who is working at a job who is debt free is not going to be friends with people who have to be there because of their car payments and their mortgage and their credit card payments and their motorcycle payments and their sea payments and their timeshares. Those are people that have to be at work. We have nothing in common with people like that. You guys are debt slaves. You guys have to do what they say. Work off the clock, work through lunch, uh, go according to their pay scale. You gotta work there for 15 years before you get a $5 raise. Are you insane? I wish I would go to a job and they tell me, "Hey, in order to get up to $5 more an hour, you gotta be here 3 years." I'd be like, "What the fuck what are you talking about? What? No, I don't. Goodbye." When you understand psychological capitalism, that is my purpose. I have to help the people out of the debt matrix that are wandering around in the debt matrix just like me, because that's where I was born. I was born in debt. I was born thinking that debt was part of life. So if you've grown like right now, if you think about it, if you just think and you believe debt is part of life, you know what that means? You was born into it. Because I am here to tell you that is not true. You don't have to be in debt. Debt is not part of life, only if you choose it. If you go finance a car for 84 months, you're choosing it. If you go on vacation knowing that you have student loan debt, you are choosing it. If you're financing a house while having student loan debt older than your children, you are choosing it. You understand that? That's what I mean by choice. That's not true. Once you understand psychological capitalism, you know you cannot be a homeowner while having a mortgage. You can't do that. You understand these new I don't even know. You understand these laws because they're mathematical ones. They're just according to the system, these are the mathematical laws according to the psychological capitalism economy. These are the laws. Once you understand psychological capitalism, you'll look at you'll see a credit report for what it is. You know what that is? That's an owner's ledger. A credit report is the owner's ledger. That's how they keep track of all you slaves. When you log into your credit report, those are all the businesses that own you. Until they get their money back, they own you, each one of them, each one of them. Wealth Talk Production says, if you have a bank account and you have more debt than you have in the bank, you have no bank account. Oh, welcome to welcome to Debt Slave to the Teaching of S&D. Yeah, you're right. That's why that's why in psychological capitalism, you understand that no currency exists for debt slaves. So it doesn't matter where you guys have money, where you're hiding it. Maybe it's in a closet, buried somewhere, hiding money from your spouse, pretend it's not there, open them secret bank accounts. I'm here to tell you, none of that money is anywhere. You're only hiding it from yourself. Nothing's nowhere. If you're making car payments and you think you're hiding money somewhere, I'm here to tell you that you're not. If you have a secret bank account that your spouse don't know about, but you have student loan debt that you have student loan debt that's older than the bank account, I have some bad news for you. There is no money in that account. That's a trick. Fauci Fauci says, "I completed a client's taxes last night. She paid almost $200,000 in federal income taxes. She doesn't own a car. I completed her taxes. She paid almost $200,000." It sounds like you're talking about business. If somebody's paying $200,000 in taxes, you're talking about business taxes. You're probably not talking about personal tax. Debt slaves don't believe the equal sign. No, they don't. They don't trust the calculator. They don't. What'd you say, Mel? You said, "Oh no, I didn't have any debate with anybody. No, uh-uh. Sometimes I just, I feel like coming on, just talking to you about it. What's up, Alonzo? Talk to you guys about what is, and it doesn't matter if you believe. Listen, it don't matter if you believe what I'm saying. It doesn't even matter if you believe it. If you don't believe me, guess what you're really saying? You don't believe the calculator. That's what you're saying. And even when I think it was Mel that said it too. Even when I hear people, they hear S&B come in and then they start talking about the calculator. I think that's the funniest shit. I'm like, why do they? You know why they talk? You know why they always do the calculator? Because they don't know what they're saying when they say that. When they even, you gotta remember, these people are typing this stuff right in the comments, like as if I invented the calculator, but they don't know that they're doing that because if you knew capitalism is psychological, you would never type in for the world to see such a comment. So what it like? I guess my question to you is, what is your point in telling me that? I guess maybe I'm confused on that. What is your point in telling me that she paid 200,000 in federal taxes and she doesn't own a car? What does that mean? That is true, Dorian. Trust me, if you're in debt with the IRS and you haven't paid, you're about to be raised by them all. Yeah, I mean, you guys got to understand something, okay? And you really got to understand something. When you see the IRS actually raid a person's house, When it gets that serious, that means the person has probably just been saying, "Fuck you, leave me alone, I'm not responding, I ain't doing shit you say." You know, that's when it comes down to that. I don't think you just break the laws and then they immediately just raid your house. They're like, "Hey, we see you doing this, okay? You gotta stop doing that. You gotta come in and explain this," or something, it's something, it has to lead up to that. But if you're just saying, F you, IRS," okay, well, I guess we're coming into your house because 'cause I'm here to explain something to you, okay? This is clear, okay? I want you guys to make sure you understand this. Taxes are the backbone of our economy and cannot be fucked with, period. You understand? Period. None of this works without debt slaves, none of it. And if you wasn't forced to participate, it would crumble, so you guys cannot fuck with it. That's why you can go to prison for tax evasion. It's like, you gotta think about it. You didn't kill nobody, you didn't hurt nobody, but you can get the same amount of prison time as somebody that killed somebody. Now, instead of just saying, "Oh my God, how can they do," you gotta take a step back and say, "Why is that?" Okay, hold up. If you, and just don't worry about it's equal to somebody killing somebody. You just gotta think to yourself, why is that though? Why would that be? There's something that there, like, you don't really understand. Like, prison takes away the time in your life. They take it. The most valuable thing. Time is the most valuable commodity on earth because we all die. By default, it is time. So if you come across something that's like tax evasion that takes 10, 15 years of your life, you gotta say, "Why is that?" Because there is something there that you cannot see, especially when you're in debt. You can't see it, and it doesn't matter if you can see it or not. That's why they made it a law. They said, "Hey, this is a law. If you do this, you lose this much time in your life." Oh my God, that's as much as the person that killed somebody. We don't give a fuck what you think about it. This is, period. Do you understand? If we don't care, you live here, so you have to understand it. But when you understand psychological capitalism and you see why, you're like, "Oh, that's why. Got it. None of this works with if that's not straight." Nope, sure. None of it works. We don't want that. Nobody wants that. I definitely don't want that. Again, the lovely part about it, it's all a choice. That's the wonderful thing about psychological capitalism. It's a choice. Always has been, always. I told this in the community line one time. I said to myself, I remember as a young, young kid, I'll never forget this. I was very young. I remember this elementary school, right? And as a kid, I remember somebody showed me $100 bill. As a kid, that might as well be $1,000,000, right? I'm just like, wow, that's $100, right? But then I remember, I forgot how it happened, but I remember asking somebody, well, who makes these? Oh, the US Mint prints them and blah, blah, blah. But I remember as a kid, I remember thinking to myself, I'll never forget this. I remember thinking, well, hmm. I was thinking, well, who is that? Who prints who prints this stuff? As a kid, I was thinking that, well, who's in charge of printing this stuff? That's what I thought to myself. But nobody around me had any answers. I don't even know if I knew how to ask that question, but I just always thought that. Now, I didn't know to actually look up the central bank at that time. I would have understood something very important to the whole piece if I would have looked that up or I mean, I was real young. I didn't know who to look for, but I just thought that was the weirdest thing. And then I remember when I was around 16 or 17, I got my first credit card. It was a JCPenney's credit card, right? At first, I remember thinking this to myself too. I remember I had a job and I wanted to go and buy me a shirt or something, right? And then I'm sure it was my family. They were like, "Hey, you gotta start building your credit. Why don't you apply for a JCPenney's credit card and then use and buy the shirt with the credit card, and then that way it help build your credit." And I remember at that moment, I still remember this. I said, "Wait a minute, okay. Instead of taking this my money and walking in and paying for the shirt and leaving, I should keep the money in my pocket and use their card and make payments back to them for the shirt that I could have bought in cash." I remember saying that to myself, and I was like, "Huh, that's weird." Okay, and then, you just follow along because all your life you believe you ain't gonna be shit without a credit score, a good credit score. That's what you think. That's all part of psychological capitalism, baby, all part of it. It's all part of the program. Sure is. Credit reports are owner's ledgers. They're nothing more and a credit score, those are reward points for staying in debt. A credit score is how they rate debt slaves. If you have a high credit score, you're a you're a good, worthy debt slave. If you have a 700, you're a medium, and if you have under 500, you're a bad debt slave. You're a bad debt slave risk. You guys are fed to the subprime shark. When you have a bad credit score, yeah, you guys are like slaves that just haven't learned your lesson, don't wanna learn your lesson, and just wanna keep on doing it. You guys get fed to the subprime sharks. Buy here, pay here, car places, financing, th these new apps that finance your stuff for you. Those are all subprime. Those are for people those kind of places, those kind of businesses are for people that don't know, people with bad credit scores. That slave's mind is like a balloon, blow whatever delusion of air within their heads and see them go to work with debt before look they do, man. When you're on this side of it, let me tell you something. Sometimes it's sad to watch. I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes it is. It's really sad to watch. You see all these people on YouTube, and you think I'm joking? There are hundreds of thousands of people that have made videos, listen to me, that have made videos talking about their car payment. Did you hear me? How they got a great deal on a finance car. They believe that, and they made a video about it. And not only listen, I want you guys to understand something, okay? So you guys understand that it ain't got nothing to do with this. It's a different listen, go to one of the best channels on YouTube, somebody with the camera and the lighting and the microphone and the flashes and the perfect video and going by the tires of the car, and then at the end of it, them mentioning how they bought the car with payment. Somebody that financed the car, so automatically listen, they don't know this. If they're talking about making the car payments, right, that means all the equipment that they're using to film the car to tell you how much of a great deal they got on the car, all that stuff is financed too. People who finance cars they don't pay for, great camera equipment in cash because they can't. They just finance the car. If they're making car payments, that means they have no money. So you gotta think to yourself, "Wow, this video looks so professional." Debt slaves there are debt slaves that are very good videographers, very talented, but they're still it doesn't change the fact that they're debt slaves, okay? It doesn't. So it has nothing to do with that, nothing. Doesn't matter how many subscribers they have, if they're making car payments, that's a debt slave really good at what they do. up, Wayman? In the class S&D, you shall learn what was what was tell to only to unlearn and relearn the truth so you don't have to be a debt slave, but be yourself. Own yourself. You copy this link. What if you have no debt, but you haven't built it either? What am I? What if you have no debt, but you have, that's it. I think about that because people always say that. Oh, you rather be a debt free bum. No, debt slaves say shit like that, right? You were just a debt free bum, which makes that's the funniest shit right. But anyway, once you own yourself, how to build will come to you naturally. I can promise you that. You just that's everybody has their own journey, but I'm telling you, beginning when you own yourself, you will know what you will have a better idea of what your purpose is. I promise you, you'll have a better idea of what your purpose is. You guys can clearly see this is my purpose. Clearly, there is no doubt. I I know something, psychological capitalism. Billions of people don't know this. I know this is my path, or journey, or whatever it is. I already know. Okay, that's a fact. It's a mathematical fact. So whatever yours is, if you're listening and you want to own yourself, hey, this is. I promise you, this is step one right here. Step one. They say, "Oh man, time for me to work in the system, only to walk out it." Yeah. You guys. Let me tell you something. Once you, this is the crazy part about it, right? When I became debt free, I still had a job for a year, okay? That transition and that year was very important to me, and I gotta the reason why I want you guys to understand something is it's not like I got debt free and then I just quit my job. It wasn't like that. It's like, "Hey, I'm debt free, I quit." No, it's not like that because if you've had a like the majority of us, right? We've all had jobs all of our life. That's just the way it is. You just have a job and that's period. But during that year as a debt free person, I started hearing things differently. I started listening to coworkers differently. I started paying attention to how managers or bosses would treat us, and it was just the weirdest of things. It was really weird, and I was like, there's things I was accepting. I was realizing how much time I was giving away by working over without getting paid, answering emails at home, knowing that they didn't pay me for that to work at home. They paid me to be there to work. When I leave that building, I leave. They don't pay me for it. But if I'm answering emails and responding to things after work hours, that's on me. They're not telling me to do that. I was doing that by choice. I started paying attention to all that shit, right? Because I remember, like, as an IT professional, I was on one of the top tier dudes. So there was an on call rotation. That's just part of the job, right? But and I was involved in VMware. It's a virtualization software. I was really deep into that, and and I was really good at it. So when it was time for me to be on call, you're on call 24 hours a day, anytime. Okay, cool. But when I wasn't on call, I would still get called. And I remember waking up quite a few times in the middle of the night, something deep inside of me kind of telling me that this is wrong. This is not right. I used to wake up and like, wait a minute, I'm not on call. What's the purpose of on call if I'm still getting called? You know what I'm saying? I was thinking, why am I still getting called? But I was in debt. I had bills. I had car payments. I had high rent. So you don't really question. But for that year though, I was like, wait a minute, nah. I was like, no. During the year, I started turning my phone off. When I left the building, I would turn my phone off. And then I would get into work the next day. They'd be like, "Hey, we tried to email you. Did you get the email?" I was like, "No." "Well, we sent it to you on the email. You didn't get your" I was like, "No, man." They were like, "Why not?" I said, "I left my phone at work and my laptop. There was no reason for me to bring it. You guys are not paying me for that." I didn't say that part, but I was like, "No." And then as I got through the year, I remember I had got a raise or something, and something happened in there in that particular time. And I remember, I must have broke through a tax bracket, and I remember my next check was less than my previous check, and then that's when I understood, uh, how a 401k could help me as a debt-free person making six figures. I was like, "Oh, that could help me," right? And so what I did was I maxed out, my 401k in 1 year, which is almost like it was 19,500, $20,000. This is keeping the number. Let's just say it's point even 20,000. I maxed it out for the year, $20,000 because I didn't have no debt. So I was like, "Okay, I gotta I gotta bring my tax down by doing this, by going into the putting money in the 401k, it brought my taxable, liabilities down." I was like, "Okay, cool, I'm doing that." So I get to save on taxes and put money away for retirement that's earning interest. So I was like, "Cool, I'm doing that." So I maxed it out, and then HR called me like, the next day because we could just do it electronically, go into the app and or whatever it was, and then move the bar up. They called me, and they was like, "Hey, LJ, did you accidentally move the bar too high or whatever?" I forgot how she said it, and she's like I was like, "No." She's like, "You know how much money that's gonna come out of your check every week or whatever?" I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Okay. We just wanted to make sure." But at the time, I didn't know they was calling me because nobody does that. Nobody debt slaves can't, let alone listen, they can't let alone debt slaves can't have retirement plans, period. So there is no way they're gonna max out a $20,000 401k. And even back then, when I was in the debt matrix and I saw how much you could contribute to a 401k in 1 year, I remember saying to myself, "Damn, who the fuck can do that?" I remember saying that to myself, and I was like, "Why is that so?" I said, "Damn, 20,000? How could you put" there is no way I could put here I am making six figures, by the way, and I was saying to myself, "There is no way I could put $20,000 in a retirement plan in 1 year from my check." I was like, "Hell no," because I was in debt. And then when I did that, this is after the fact talking, obviously, I immediately stand out in the company. I guarantee you I do. By maxing out my 401k, because that doesn't happen. So, of course, you stand out immediately. 'Cause 'cause 401 retirement plans help the business. They help the business, right? But when they see somebody max out a 401k, they're gonna immediately know that this person knows, this person has money. This person understands money because nobody does that. That's why in my opinion, that's why they offer, like, 401k matches, 3%, 5 that's just to get you guys to start putting more money in it. You guys thinking you guys are gonna get free money. They say that shit all the time on YouTube. "Hey, why go get that match. That's free money you're leaving on the table." They're not listen, that is not true. There is no money on the table because that place can't have retirement plans. So when I did that, I obviously stood out, and I remember the day I was leaving this particular job, now the CEO wanted to talk to me. Now him and I never had more than 2 words walking in the hall. "Hey, how you doing? Hey, hi," But at the day I was leaving, he wanted to see me. I was like, "What? What do you want to see me for?" Long story short, I think he wanted to talk to he wanted to look at the person who contributed that maxed out their 401k in 1 year, leaving the job on my own terms. I left that job on my own terms. That year of being debt free, working that was so important, man. I just saw so many things. I saw so many holes that I was just giving away the time of my life for free, man. I was just giving it away. I just when you understand that capitalism is psychological, that doesn't happen anymore. That stops immediately because you know one day you're gonna be dead. And if you're giving away the time of your life, like you have a job, like It doesn't matter how you feel about this, okay? But if you have a job, you gotta understand that you're selling the time in your life for whatever that job is paying you. That's how much that's how much you're saying the time in your life is worth. That's what you're saying. Now you can let that sink in, you can let it fly over your head, hey, whatever. For my time, there is no limit. It's unlimited. Why do I say this? Because I know something that billions do not know. Billions. It's just a matter of time. I keep repeating this over and over to people that listen to the channel, new to the channel. It's only a matter of time. The world doesn't I know, the world doesn't know yet. That's it. It's only a matter of time. I remember even last year, I was like, "Hey, man, I'm ready to write a book." I mean, let me tell you something today. I wasn't even close to even starting that book yet. The end has not hey, man, the end hasn't came yet. Once everything happens, then I'll write the book. Because when I write the book, you guys are gonna 100% believe it because I've been telling you the whole fucking time before it happened. Of course you're gonna buy that book, of course, because 'cause I'm telling you now before it happens. So when it does happen and I write the entire book, you're gonna be like, "I'm buying that book." Why? Because he said it. He told us the whole time this was gonna happen before this book came out. A bestseller forever. Did you hear me? That's how you make bestsellers forever. First you do it, you tell the people that you're doing it before it happens, all along the way. It doesn't matter the time. It could be 2 years, 5 years. It doesn't matter. As long as it happens. The longer the better. And then when it does happen, the people that have been following, they be like, "He's been telling us this shit for years, and he said it happened. He's gonna write a book. Hell yeah, I'm buying that book." I love doing things that nobody else has done. What I'm doing here with S&P, this hasn't been done yet, at least in this manner. At least in this manner. You guys will see. Wherever I go, wherever I'm invited, wherever, as soon as I walk in the room, there's gonna be an energy that follows. No, you know what that energy is? Knowing that I'm never wrong because I believe the calculator. That whatever situation, whatever financial whatever, got the calculator on my hip, ready to go. Let's go. I'm glad my eyes are open. They, they always were. However, your shared knowledge and experience has taken my understanding to another level. Thank you. I'm happy too. I can always tell a person that swallow that pill and get it, they get excited. That's how I was. I was just like that, excited. You're like, once you understand this, you know immediately, you know you're different than millions and billions of people, and do you know that immediately there are no limits. You better believe it. When I get it, you guys don't even understand. I've been practicing my stage appearance over and over in my head. I know exactly what Imma do. I know exactly what Imma say. I know exactly how Imma look. I know everything. How Imma sound, whatever. I know how I'm gonna use the audience in my examples because you gotta remember, the audience members, the majority of them will be in debt because it has to be that way. So whatever example I use, it's gonna reach about 90 to 95% of the audience, if not more. Each one of them will walk out of that auditorium like, what the fuck did I just go to? What was that? What was that? Wait, what? I'm just an alien says that if LJ writes a book, I will buy one for each of my siblings. I'm tired of telling them no, I won't loan you money. It's not about if, it's gonna happen. I think the perfect time for the book is when S&B, myself, blows up. Then that'll be the perfect time. That's a guaranteed bestseller, guaranteed. Especially for the people that pay it that's been kind of following the background, haven't said anything, but they've been listening to my words, and then it happens, it's gonna blow their minds. They're gonna be like, "Oh my god, he did see it." You can see it. It's there. Again, it's not physical, it's psychological. It's just a matter of time for the right person to hear me or, it's for the right person that understands that capitalism is psychological. Once they hear me, that's it. They're gonna be like, "Who said that?" "LJ from S&D." "Who is he?" He said, "What?" He said, "Capitalism is psychological." "Are you sure he said that?" He said, "Yes, yes, he's been screaming that for, like, the last 3, 4, 5 years on his channel." "What?" "He's been saying that for how long?" Knock, 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 knock. "Hey, how you doing?" "Hey, we don't know how you did it, but congratulations, welcome." "Alright, and you know what I'm gonna say? Okay, fill me in, guys, fill me in. What else am I missing here? Fill me in." The hardest part the hardest part is owning yourself. That's the hardest part. 'Cause first you have to know you don't own yourself. That's hard. Like, if you're listening right now and you're sitting in a mortgaged house, you gotta accept that house is not yours. You have to accept that. Doesn't matter how long, many years you've been paying on it, 5 years, 10 years, 3, 5, 6 times. You gotta sit in the chair in that house in your favorite room and say, "This is not my house." And it never was, 'cause I didn't have the money to buy it. That's like one of the S&B red pills. That's a tough pill to swallow. The majority of you guys now listen closely. It doesn't matter how I know, okay? Just listen. The majority of you guys that are in cars that you're so far upside down, you can't even sell it because you would have to pay money to sell it. And you have since you have no money, that means you can't get out of it. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. You're only when you get a new car every 3 years, 4 years, you're only fooling debt slaves. You're not fooling people like me. We can see you. We know why you are in that car and you get new cars every 2 or 3 years. We know why. Because 'Cause you're trapped. Now you can look at it one of 2 ways. You can say, "Who is he?" Get offended, or you take a step back and say, "Damn, that's true. I can't get out of this car unless I pay. I owe more on this car than what it's worth." And since you do that, you have gap insurance that you don't even have to have. Only people in debt upside down in cars have gap insurance. So not only are you paying a high percent loan, you got gap insurance that's on top of your regular insurance. Now you owe more on the car than what it's worth. Honestly, I don't know. I have no idea, and this is just my opinion. I don't know. I have no idea how is it legal to roll negative equity of a car into a new car loan. I have no idea how in the world is that legal. I have no idea. That's just my opinion. I understand that it's business. But if you do that, like, if you're a person that's upside down listening to this right now and you can't get out, you've done that. That's why you're in that position, because you rolled negative equity into a new car loan and spread it out further to make your car payments lower. Let me tell you something, if you don't get out from that, guess what? You'll never own yourself ever. Never. You're only fooling the people that don't know. You're only fooling other people with car payments. That's who you're fooling. I really enjoyed speaking with you the other day, not advertising, but S&G, don't sleep on the opportunity to take advantage of it. I appreciate that. That was a wonderful conversation. It is I do thoroughly enjoy talking to people that understand, want talking to you was like filling in the gaps for you, filling into, like, "Why is this? And why is that?" And then I'm a person that says, "This is why." Then I fill it in with math because I didn't have nobody like that. I didn't. Christmas says, I was talking to someone yesterday at a charging station that had a Model 3. It takes 2 hours to charge 2 hours to charge 300 miles. It's a beautiful car, but that's a wow. Let me let me let me give you a view of Teslas from a psychological capitalism standpoint, okay? So you guys can understand. Okay, first off, finance Teslas do not save money on gas. Let's just right now, let's just save that, start that right off. You gotta understand, finance electric cars, not just Tesla, finance electric cars do not save money on gas. And you're probably thinking, "Well, what do you mean by that, LJ? What do you mean?" Okay, open up your calculator, put in your car payment minus your car balance, and then hit equal. Does the calculator say you're saving money on gas? Then the answer is no, you're not saving money on gas. Now, people that will sit at a charging station with a finance Tesla for 2 hours obviously does not only doesn't value the time in their life, that's a clear indication of somebody that does not value the time in their life, and it's usually people that are making car payments that don't understand that because they don't own the time in their life. Hence, car payments. If they're making car payments and they're sitting at a charging station for 2 hours, they clearly don't own the time in their life, clearly, because there is no way. Because if you would put it this way, if you had a gas car and you pulled up to a pump and they said it's gonna take 2 hours to pump at this gas station, you're gonna save a lot of money, but it's gonna take you 2 hours to pump your gas. You know what you would say? "Fuck no, I'm out of here, live." But a electric car, you'll do it, and that might not even include the time that it might be a line at that electricity pump thing, whatever that is, a charging station. So the time that it takes to get to the pump, and then I heard you gotta have some kinda charging etiquette, don't go right next to another because it slows down the pump. Fuck all that. No, no. That's why people that buy Teslas in cash, they have superchargers at home. When you could pull up home and plug your car in it because you're at home. You're already at home. You're not doing anything anyway, except doing whatever you want in your house. You know what they're gonna start doing for you debt slaves that don't understand this? They're gonna start building, if they haven't already, coffee shops, sandwich shops, all kind of businesses. That's the next business model. They're gonna start building around a charging stations because you guys are gonna be there anyway. Guess what you're gonna do? Spend money. You better believe I would set up a fast food restaurant, coffee station, Starbucks, uh, whatever. You know how much money that is? That's money. You better believe that's in the works if it's not already. That's a wide open opportunity right there. Build a business next to charging stations. You better believe that would be so much bread. Oh my God, that's big bread right there. Any question? I still be trying to do these things on the free side for you guys. I do because something keeps telling me to do it, right? Something keeps. Uh, I guess what it is because I know the video, the content that I create on YouTube will be valid always. It will never expire. It will never be old one day. Hey, this doesn't make any sense. That was old. He said that way back in 2022. I'm here to tell you, it won't matter the year you listen to my content. It will always be the same. Just the amounts will be higher. You will be, it will, if I mention, hey, there's $1.7 trillion in debt of student loan debt today, right? You'll kind of have an idea of when it was, but it won't matter because 10 years from now, it's gonna be more than that, okay? So it's gonna be whatever it's gonna be 10 years from now. It doesn't matter the amount as long as you guys are trapped in debt. That's it. So the content will always be valid. Listen, there will always be mortgages. There will always be car loans. There will always be credit cards. There will always be whatever you guys financing furniture and shit like that. You guys will always do that, so it'll always be valid. Why will you always fi Why will you always finance? Because you have no money. You don't know that. You have no choice but to finance. If the banks didn't exist, you couldn't exist. Oh god, we got the prick back up here. Oh
Hello,
man.
hello, hello,
Man,
hello.
I just called you a name. Why are you smiling, man?
It's Happy Easter.
I just called you a prick though.
Okay.
What's up, sir? What's going
Hey, what's up?
on?
If I'm going to be a prick, I might as well be a good one.
With a smiling face. Yeah.
Indeed. I was going. Yeah. I gotta. How's it? Well, Happy Easter, to everybody. Just wanted to say about that movie Limitless, man. The first time I seen it, oh man, that movie blew my mind away.
Me too. I've always loved that movie. I've always loved it.
I watched it with my stepdad when it first came out on DVD, and we watched it together. And I was just unbelievably blown by it. And I was when I was walking around today, I realized something. Like when I got hired at this job, and the manager looked at me puzzled because he saw me smiling, and he was like, I was polite, nice, and everything.
What is this? An
And he,
interview you said? What is this?
an interview, job
Okay.
interview,
All right. Mhm.
and he was like, like he was confused. He looked at me confused, and he was like, "Where are you from?"
Where are you okay. Where are you from? Wow, okay.
But I get that a lot though. People think I'm from Africa.
What?
Yeah, that's been all my life. The dude said, "Are you from Kenya? You got an accent." But
What?
everybody says that to me though. At every job I ever had, everybody always said, "You got an accent. You don't act like."
You know what it is? You know what it really is? It's that energy thing, man. I'm telling you. They're trying to figure out what it is. That's
Yeah,
what
they are.
they're trying to figure out what they don't know. It's the energy from owning yourself. They don't know that. So they got to say, God, it's gotta be something. Are you this? Are you that? Or it's something.
It took me years to finally realize that. And I was walking, I was like, "That's why they said that stuff towards me."
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm the only one that stood out, but it's just like for years, like with that glow, that's like you have a glow about you. You
Mm-hmm.
smiling all the time.
So can you imagine what it's like now with the SMD knowledge? Can you imagine?
Oh man, it just blew me out the water. It's like I'm ready to do more. I feel like right now I can do a whole lot more in my life.
Yes, for sure. I try to, you know what? I'm glad you're up here, man, because I try to tell people that. I don't think they get it. I don't think they get it. That
Yeah, you can.
you realize everything's unlimited now. You can do anything.
Yes, you can. Just like my stepdad. Well, he was married to my mom when she passed, but like he told me, he was like, "Man, don't you know how free you are? I wish I was you."
Mm, mm.
I never forget me. He told me that.
Wow. When
It's
did he
like
say that to you?
after my divorce.
Oh, oh, oh. You know what that is? He's really just telling you about himself, really. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
but
saying?
yeah, he
Wishing
was like,
wishing he was that free.
yeah.
Mm.
And then I was telling you right back at at my former job, an older man said the exact same thing to me. He was like, I wish I was you. You look like how I kept telling people, how people kept telling me how I look like I can be in the corporate world and
Mhm.
everything.
Mhm.
I get that a lot.
I'm telling you what it is though. They're just guessing. They don't know. They just guessing. They just
I don't even I don't even go into detail.
right. It's been like that for me since I was young too. That's always happened, but now I guess I can say now I understand the reason why. Okay, now I
Yeah,
get it. Now I know why they're trying to figure out because everywhere I go here, they think I'm Darius Rucker.
yeah,
Are you Darius Rucker? I was like, no, I'm not Darius Rucker. No. But I'm like, okay, you guys are just trying to find something. I
yeah,
get it. I totally get it.
yeah. I get that. Like, you have an accent. Where are you from? Are you from like East Africa, the Horn of Africa? Where you from? Like, we never.
Wow.
And I was at the phone. They was like, I love your energy. Like, it's something different about you. These are women who I be saying this. It's like, it's something different about that boy. I just can't.
I can't
We
put my
just can't
finger
know.
on it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
you were right.
Yeah. I told you, man. I told you. Now you got as soon as you start accepting, like, okay, I know why. It's gonna be different, right? Okay, I know why you're
Yes,
talking to me. I know why you're saying that. Okay, I know.
the world is different. Everything is different now. Everything has changed.
It's the same. It's crazy because it's the same world, but it's different.
Even even when I be out walking, kids, like little kids, they'll look at me and start smiling. And
Hmm.
I just walked around one day just at the mall and was like little kids would be waving at me like, "Hey, how you doing?" I
Right,
waved back, normal stuff. They'd be like have a
right,
glow when they see me.
right.
And then I
I
had a
I think kids are better indication of that can pick up energy better than grown-ups because we've been hardened, right?
yeah,
Fear of everything. Kids don't know about that stuff yet. Okay. All they know
correct.
is play. So I think they can pick up energy better than adults.
Right. Because when I picked up my son to spend the weekend, to have the weekend with him, my ex-wife, just like every time he comes near you, he's not only super happy, but he be doing things on his own around you. Like he knows how to get inside the car. He knows how to put his own seat on. He smiles when he see you every single time. I was like, I just be a good parent.
Hmm.
And it's like
Man,
it's just incredible.
man, you know to you got the luckily you got the privilege of being able to raise your son with that type of energy. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yes.
people don't really understand the significance of that, man. That just you get to raise him just a different type of father. It's different.
Yeah.
I don't know because if I had this knowledge at young when my kids were young, it just would have been so different, so different.
Yep, everything, like you said, everything has changed. Even when I go, speak to my ex, it's a different energy. She's like looking at me puzzled, like, wait a minute, who are you?
Right, right.
Like, I know you crazy and kooky, but wait, you got a energy about you.
Yeah, yeah, man.
You-
Here's Mel coming up here. What's up, Mel? What's going on,
Hey,
sir?
what's going on? How you doing?
All right, all right. How you guys doing today?
Doing
Doing
good.
good.
I know
Wonderful, wonderful.
he's smiling. He must got a story too. He got a
No,
story too,
no,
right?
man. I just saw something on the. I didn't want to stop you guys. I didn't know what you guys were talking about because it took me a while to get in the queue. But go
No,
ahead.
no, it's
I'll
just
let
about me being a prick.
you know. Well, I mean, you become a prick once you get into this lifestyle
Yes,
because
you do. Yes, you do. And that's okay. That's okay.
yeah,
I
you become
prefer it.
different. You become different.
Yeah. So
But
what's
I,
up? What's the story? What you got to say? I want to hear it.
No, I was just listening to a YouTube show the other night, and I saw this guy that you imitated one time. When you wore your robe, uh, they had him on they had him in the hot seat, grilling him about his financial situation or whatnot.
Hmm.
And a lot of people, as far as debt slaves, they look at I guess different business scenarios, but you can say this guy was one of the guys that got lucky because what I heard was the guy's grandmother got a major lawsuit and was able to pass down wealth to the family. So now you are able to be a fool with your money because you have that extra, you know, you have an extra pool of money that you can pull from to start businesses and stuff like that. I don't think this person is such a savvy business person because he talks about car leases and, you know, buying all these watches and all this stuff and, you know, taking out, you know, different mortgages for rental properties and stuff. I don't think that's
Well, see, this is what people can. This is what debt slaves don't know that can dead all that. If you got money, show me your personal credit report.
right.
And you know, because you don't know about the money from the family. I mean, these are not factual things. You don't know unless you know him, right?
Right, absolutely.
He can dead all that and do like me. Show the personal credit report. It'll tell me everything I need to know. If he has money, if he doesn't have money, the personal credit report don't lie.
You're right, and that's why I saw that.
They'll never do that though. They'll never do
It was
that.
just business. I saw it was business.
Right.
Just like you say, it was the LLC of this guy
Correct.
interviewing the LLC of this guy.
Correct.
So their business is to bring eyes to their YouTube channels.
Yeah.
And that's what it did.
Well,
But
when I see his channel, I look at him and see him just doing what they do to attract people. You know, just wear stuff and flash stuff and put shoes in the background, wear fancy clothes. That's how it works to attract other debt slaves, right? Because when you're not a debt slave, you don't care. I don't care what you're wearing. I don't care. It's like, why you got that stuff in the frame? I'm getting tired of even looking at it. Why is it there? I thought we were talking about money. Why you got shoes in here? That don't make no sense, right? So I would just,
really annoying.
I would click off anybody talking about money with shoes in the background. I'll just leave. I have no business being there.
You're right. You're right. But it was just interesting. Like you said, he could have saved an hour and a half if he would have just showed his credit report. And, you know, but after it, you know, even like with Dave, like you say, everything after the paying off debt is business.
Yes.
You know, it's business.
I mean, think about it. How many people on YouTube you think have done what I done? Show my personal credit report. How many people you think done
I haven't seen any at all, brother.
Nobody.
I ain't seen none.
Nobody. That's what, but debt slaves don't know. All they got to do, if somebody's like, if they invite me to a show like that, I'd be like, hey man, show me your personal credit report or shut the fuck up.
Right.
That's what I'll say. Period. That answers all questions. Do I own myself? Yep, sure do. Okay, that's all you need to know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But I know you're talking about the movies. I didn't know if you saw this movie called Fun with Dick and Jane. Have you seen that one?
I haven't seen it
Oh
in a
yeah,
long
I've seen
time.
that. Yeah.
If you're talking about debt slaves, my
Yeah.
Fun. I gotta
They
rewatch it with my debt-free eyes. I haven't seen it in a long time.
It's fun, especially in the beginning.
Yes, how he got the corporate job and he went and bought the BMW to keep up with his neighbor. The pool.
Then he did that stock market report and the company stock went down. And his manager was drinking and was on the floor and slapped him in the face.
You know what's so crazy though? You know what's so crazy? They're actually making fun of debt slaves.
Absolutely.
They're actually making fun of them right now, doing shit like that. You know, they're like,
another good movie, money movie. I seen this a while back with George Clooney. It was called Money Monster.
Money Monster.
I haven't seen that one. I know what you're talking about. He tries to be like Jim Cramer or something like that.
Yeah, I seen that in the movies. It was like only 4 people inside the movies. It was me, my ex, and another couple on the other end. We watched that movie. It was like about the stock market. It was a real good movie. That's another good movie people should see.
Okay, Money Monster. Okay, I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah,
I like rewatching movies with my debt-free eyes because they really are just trying to portray something that is only psychological, right?
Yeah, Money Monster. That George Clooney movie. I think Money Monster. It's a movie he came out with. I ain't know if it did too well in the movie, but it came out a few years ago. Just like one of his It's called Money Monster by it's George Clooney. He started in it, and he used to like Mel say he tried to be like Jim Cramer. When you watch that movie, the debt-free version, it's gonna wake you up to a lot of stuff. You can be like, wait a minute, it is psychological.
And
Okay.
a debt slave took him hostage, right?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah. On the show, live on the show, a debt slave had a
yeah, they took him. Had a bomb strapped to him.
Okay, I'm gonna watch that. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch for debt-free eyes, man. Because if you go back and like I said,
I wanted to ask you guys a question right quick.
Yeah.
I know my brother Robert. That's your name, Robert. Robert,
Yes, sir.
you said you went through a divorce, right?
Yes.
Okay, I've been married about almost 20 years now, and I can say being debt free kind of saved my marriage a lot. You know what I'm saying? It saved us from a lot of arguments. And I wanted to see in you, brother's situation, if you think going back, would that have, been a better scenario for your marriages?
Yeah, I would definitely I would love to get remarried again. Knowing being debt free, I would definitely get remarried again, but she has to be debt free. Because when during my marriage, her student loans and car payments, that almost killed me, man. Because it was like I was working 60 hours a week at Amazon, and I did it for 7 years straight, not knowing. No one didn't tell me this until I discovered LJ on the rim. And once I discovered LJ like at the later end of my divorce, and that's when I decided, when I was working at Medline at the time, to get myself out of debt. So I followed LJ's steps. And what I did was I paid off one car, and then the other one she took care of, and then I just took care of like one credit card that I had. That's how I was able to do it. I just had to just look at it from an outside perspective. But would I get married again? Absolutely. I'm 39 years old. The thing is, I loved being married. It was just, when you are married, your wife cannot be working for someone else. I had to learn that the hard way.
Brings a lot of frustration into the marriage.
Yeah, and I told this story before to other people, that when me and my ex-wife worked at Amazon together, like for example, she was in one department and I was in another department, and it was a dude that was working like right next to her, went up to her. It was him, my ex-wife, and his girlfriend. They was talking, and then his girlfriend went up to me and said, my boyfriend asked your wife, why the fuck is she married to you?
Wow.
And she like, what do you mean? She was like, he said you too goddamn nice. Like when you work at warehouse jobs with other debt slaves, they find out, they will try to hit on your wife. Believe me.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
it
don't have to be a warehouse. It can be anything.
Yeah, that's true too.
Any job.
Yeah,
but when you're on the other side, the best advice I can ever tell someone, if you are married, you're debt free, you're on the other side, is that if you can have your significant other work for you under a business, that would be all the better.
Yeah, I heard a brother. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I heard a brother on one of LJ old shows said he got married in 2008 and he got a divorce in 2018, and he was still paying for the wedding and the rings and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh my goodness, man.
Oh yeah, I know you're talking about. I think you're talking about Walter.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So I mean, it's different, man. It's different. It's different when you don't have to worry about.
Well, I went through Justice of the Peace.
Okay.
And being the prick that I am, I got my wedding band from Walmart. It was like $25.
I did too, brother. I did too. $100 wedding band. Got these big old clouds. You know what I'm saying? Because we can do anything and go anywhere we want to go. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it ain't about the the size of the bling. It's about, you know, do you have peace? I
Yes,
believe
peace.
you have
Yeah.
peace
Exactly.
in a
Peace.
relationship.
Peace.
But she gives, man, you know, when I met my wife, man, and we got together, man, she had so much debt, man, but I just did not like that. Even before, you know, doing this, I was like, man, I paid off her credit cards. I paid off her little car. She had a Mitsubishi Eclipse. And
Mm.
I bought her a $3,000 Lexus ES 398, brother, because she had a Toyota Camry. I said, now if you get this Camry, you're gonna have to make these payments. It was like 450. So she
Yeah.
made it the first
Yeah.
couple of months. It was like, oh God, I don't like these payments. So I found her a Lexus ES 300. So you can't say it's not good cars out there. But this was like maybe 10 years ago. I bought her a Lexus and I drove that Eclipse till the wheels fell off. But guess what? We didn't have no car payments.
There you go.
We didn't have no car payments. And all the while, I was paying down that debt, hustling, paying down that debt, man. Paid off her
Mm-hmm.
car, paid off, you know, all that, my student loans, all that stuff, man. And once we got that piece, you know, I had saved up $15,000. I said, I'm gonna go get me a Range Rover. So I bought me a used Range, which I still drive today, man. And it drives like a champ for $15,000 cash. So people can't say that you cannot buy a car or a house without making payments. It's possible.
Well,
Because I'm living through.
you got to remember, Mel, when you hear people say that, they're only talking about themselves,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
When they say, "Oh man, you know what kind of car I'm gonna get if I pay cash?" Well, you're telling me you have no money, because if you think like that, that means you're telling me that you don't have enough money to buy a nice car. That's what you're saying.
Absolutely.
Because you can't be talking about everybody, because there are
Absolutely.
people that can buy nice cars in cash. That happens every
Absolutely.
day, every day.
But it depends on the car that person desires. Now, if they,
Correct.
well, I'm a Tesla, you can't pay for it. You know, you got to have payments on a Tesla. I mean, well, okay, if that's what you want, I
Yeah,
don't need a Tesla right now.
he's
You
saying you
know,
got to. But he should have been saying, I gotta have payments on a Tesla. That's what he just don't know that he's really saying that. That's what he's saying, because
absolutely.
they really believe, like I always say, they really believe they're saving money on gas with a finance Tesla. They don't even know that they're not. Don't even
No,
know.
all they're doing is making me money because I bought the stock
Show
with my
is,
money.
show
You
is.
know, so me and Elon and the banks, we gonna be good.
Hell yeah, sitting at charging station for 2 hours. They about to rape them. They about to set up shops and sandwich shops and this shop. They're gonna be eating,
Oh,
going out to
oh,
dinner
yeah.
I
at
can
the
Oh, oh,
charging station.
oh,
I can
brother.
see it. I can see it now. They put a Chick-fil-A at a charging station.
Oh
Oh
my
Lord.
God. Oh my God. You better believe that's somebody that's smart. If they put, like, find the biggest, most popular charging station and put a fucking Chick-fil-A there, oh, that is it.
It's a wrap.
That's going to be
It's
the
a
best
wrap.
money making Chick-fil-A through United States of America.
Put a Wi-Fi station with it.
Ooh, a
They ain't
powerful
going home.
Wi-Fi. Five.
Yeah, they ain't.
Hey, look, Chick-fil-A, 5 bars, all that. Yeah, yeah, right here.
People gonna be living at that parking lot.
Yes,
Hell
sir.
yeah. While in
Put
the
an Apple
background,
Store next to it.
Chick-fil-A and Tesla working on a deal. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
We're going to have to share some of this money. We're going to have to share some of that money.
Hey, but thank you, brother, for letting me come up, man. I gotta go. So
Yeah, no problem, man.
keep doing a good thing, man. And I will talk to you guys later, man.
All right, Mel.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Later. Hell,
Yep.
can you imagine? That's gonna make some bread right there. Ooh, a Chick-fil-A next
Mm-hmm.
to a charging station.
Because they got charging stations at the Wawa's gas stations and the Sheetz gas stations.
Mm-hmm.
So I know they got those.
Mm.
So yeah, imagine putting that at Walmart, at Chick-fil-A. Oh man, yep.
Imagine how much. Just think this. Imagine how much business a 7-Eleven would get at a charging station. Can you
Oh
imagine the
Lord.
business?
Oh man.
If they had
Man.
gas, well, I don't know if they could put that next to each other. Maybe they can't. I don't know, but electricity and you know how much money that man, they would make so much bread. Oh my
I
God.
know everybody be hanging out in the corner, be making
I know. It'd have to be in the right area. It has to be.
when I found out like the movie Limitless, Unlimited Potential, I was thinking about, like, how people opening up casinos in the state of Virginia. like small casinos and everything. I was just like, man, this can go far.
Is that what's happening?
Yeah,
Mm.
because certain like Virginia independent cities, they try and get their gambling licenses and to operate like small casinos, like like the slot machines. They be having them at gas stations now. Like you go inside like a Arab gas station, and they got slot machines next to the liquor that you can buy now, and you be seeing.
Oh, like in Washington State, right? Indian reservations. They got a lot of Indian reservations in Washington State, so they build a lot of casinos, and they make so much money, right? We have a main freeway. There's a main freeway called I-5, right?
Yes.
They have built a ramp that comes off the freeway. They financed this. I mean, they did it themselves with a big ass screen on the side of the freeway that looked like a one of those old movie theater screens. That's how big it is. On the side in color, you can see it like 1080p. It's so clear, and it's that big. You know how much money it takes to make a screen that size, that clear? Oh my God, man. That's how much money they're making. They're making so much money for people trying to dream. Oh, I'm gonna hit that. They'll put a fancy car inside of the. They'll put a fancy car inside of the casino and say, "Hey, you could win this car, right?" But what debt slaves don't know, say like they did win it. Well, they got to pay taxes before they can get the car. They got to pay tax, and guess what? They can't do. They can't pay taxes. They can't pay the taxes, so they don't get the car. So it's all a trick. All a trick. They can't afford the taxes on a brand new. Hey, win this brand new $100,000 Corvette, right? And then I would say, win it. Oh yeah, by the way, you got to pay taxes on $100,000. You ain't got it. Sorry, you can't get the car.
No,
sorry.
you ain't driving nowhere.
Nowhere. So
yes,
you better take that picture and all those lights with you. Your picture of you winning the car. That's about as close as you are gonna get to that damn car.
Yes, you are. Woo! Just like same thing with like at certain casinos, small ones, they be you can rent a PlayStation 5.
Wow. In a casino. Oh my God. How much money are they spending to try to win that PlayStation 5? You know what I'm saying? That's the funny part right there.
Man, the scalpers are having fun, man. Like I was in line to buy a PlayStation 5 at GameStop. It was like 15 of us in line at 7 a.m. in the morning.
For what?
To buy a PlayStation 5 system because it was so.
That's why you laughing today. That's why you laughing today.
Yep.
And you probably did you put it on a credit card too?
Hell no, I bought cash.
Oh, okay. Just checking. Because usually people standing in line for a depreciating object are usually charging it.
No. I pulled out them Benjamins.
Were you in debt at the time? No.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, the PlayStation 5 system.
Oh. You waited in line for it?
Well, yeah, I got in line before everybody else did because GameStop opened up at 10 o'clock in the morning on Saturdays. So I was in line around about 7:30 in the morning. It was warm outside, chilling. And then all of a sudden, I saw 5 other people came behind me. And I was like, yeah, I got spot number 2.
Okay.
Spot number 3. And then the dude came out. He was like, we only got for 13 PlayStations and 12 Xboxes.
Wow.
So it's first come, first serve. And when you go inside Rent a Center, they got PlayStation 5, but they
Rent a Center. Oh my God.
I mean, they have a PlayStation 5, but it's like rent to owns, and they upscaled it to like $1,700.
You can rent to own a PlayStation at Rent a Center?
Yes.
Oh my God.
PlayStation, Xboxes, Nintendo Switches. Yeah.
What? They got game systems at Rent a Center you could rent to own?
Absolutely.
Oh my God, they're doing debt slaves so dirty. Ooh.
Let's see, Rent a Center, Aaron's. Yeah, all of them.
Ooh, they're just beating them on the ground while they got the chains on, just kicking them.
Yeah, just like I'm inside South Park Mall, and it's like a furniture store inside the mall, and they had 2 PlayStation 5 boxes. And it was like PlayStation 5 physical for $1,000. But I'm like, no, a regular PlayStation 5 by itself is only $400.
They said $1,000?
$1,000, yeah. Because
and that's a rent to own place?
Yeah.
So they upcharge, they double the price, and then make them rent it,
Absolutely.
and then have
Yeah.
them rent it.
Like $35 a month for like 2 years.
Oh my
Yeah, they do that because
Oh,
because the scalpers and in the parts to make them is so scarce now.
say what?
The parts to make a PlayStation and the
Oh,
stuff is where it's like scarce.
you can't get them now.
Correct. So when they have them in stock, you gotta hurry up and get them because it might be a couple of months to a year if you can
Mm.
get another one.
So that means if you decide to sell yours, you got to be careful. Hey, I'll meet you at the police station.
Pretty much, yeah, you gotta do that.
I'll meet you at the police station.
Yeah, because they got tracking inside of PlayStation 5. So if somebody steals your PlayStation, you can log into it through a computer and find out where it's at.
Oh, like an iPhone.
Correct.
But can it stop them from doing stuff on it, or
Yeah, actually it can because if you
or can they
lock
just
it,
erase it and start over?
if they good enough, they can erase it. But if you lock it inside, be like, for example, this person, it's like, let's say you get it and like when you turn on the PlayStation, it's going to have that person's profile picture and
Correct.
everything on it anyway.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, they can still trace it.
But they can. I bet you they can erase a PlayStation.
Oh yeah, they can. Yeah, if you could just hold the reset button for 5 seconds, and then the safe mode would come up, and then you can like go back to factory settings.
Gotcha.
You can do that. But the serial number.
It's still locked. The serial number is still locked though.
Correct.
Okay, so it don't matter if they erase it or not. You could still be able to get to as soon as they put it back online.
Correct.
So just like an iPhone, I guess. Okay.
Yes, because it's like the digital version of PlayStation 5. You need the internet. Yeah, that's another thing.
Oh, that's a requirement.
Yeah, gotcha. You need high-speed internet for the digital version.
Damn, so you got to be careful that you're not buying a stolen PlayStation if you go out there and try to buy one off the street.
Pretty much.
How you going? Because you ain't gonna know until you get it home.
Correct. That's right. Until you hook it up to the Wi-Fi, and then the ISP can figure it out from there as well. That's how people got caught.
Find out you bought a stolen PlayStation. Ooh, that'd be messed up. I'm sure that's happened plenty of times.
Scratched off serials. That's how Rent-A-Center was able to track theirs.
What do you mean?
Let's say, like for example, if you miss a couple of payments on the PlayStation 5, they come get it back.
God, I can't even imagine somebody knocking on your door to come pick up oh my God.
Yeah, they do that.
But I guess I put it this way. I guess if you are renting a PlayStation from Rent-A-Center, I guess that's what you're going to. Oh my God.
Yeah, they upcharged it. Like that's how they did with PlayStation 4s. They upcharged it like to $800. Yeah, they do that. My mom my mom before she passed, that she was famous for going to errands and Rent-A-Centers. That's how I knew all of this. She would get mattresses from Rent-A-Center, TVs, couches, like even since I was young. And she was like, "Yeah, you do this. You only pay for $25 a month, and it's yours." That's how I know.
So crazy. They just take full advantage of people that don't know. Take full advantage of them. That's why I put that picture up there. I was like, "There's a Rent-A-Center over here. I ain't seen one of those in so long. So I got to take a picture of this."
Yeah, I live up the street from one.
God damn! I didn't know they were still. Because I remember when I was younger, there used to be a whole bunch of them. And then now it's like a handful now.
Yep. So yeah, it's one up the street. It's an errands. Let's see. It's like GameStop. What GameStop doing now is that they selling TVs and stuff as well. What? Like you can. Yeah, GameStop, the video game store, they selling TVs.
Okay, all right, whatever. A special TV that works well with gaming or some stupid shit.
Yeah, like the 10 SP. Now for the PlayStation 5, you do have to. It depends on what type of games you get. You do probably most likely have to upgrade your TV to get the better resolution as best as possible. So yeah, a lot of people who got PlayStation 5s upgraded their TVs. That was almost automatic.
And you know what I think as I'm listening, who does Rent-A-Center hire to go pick up a TV or a couch or a
Oh,
PlayStation.
big dudes that used to work in warehouses.
God damn. So two
Yeah,
big ass dudes show up at your door talking about we come to get the couch.
pretty much like a shakedown.
Holy moly, man, that is bananas. And you know
It's
they
like,
treat that. You know they treat the shit treat it like shit.
well, yeah, they come inside with the big van, with the big truck, back up to your yard, on some, hey, we came to get your stuff. You made a payment. Yeah, they do that,
Mm.
or they'll just take you to court and garnish you.
Oh my god, that is horrible. All
Yeah,
right,
they
man.
do
Let's
that.
we gotta wrap this up, man. I gotta go.
I'm sorry.
No, that's horrible, man. I'm just like, damn, that is fucked up. But they do it to themselves, man. They do it to themselves.
Yep.
All right, man. Well, thanks for jumping up here as always,
Oh,
Robert,
no
man. Enjoy
problem, no
talking to
problem.
you. Love
Thank
John.
you, thank you, thank you. Oh, check out that movie. When you get the chance, by George Clooney. I think his name is Money Monster,
Money
Money
Monster.
Mon-
Okay. I'm gonna
or
write
Money
that.
Master. It's
Money,
an older.
Money Monster or Money Master?
I think it's Money Monster. It's something money in it, but I know he was the star in it.
Who is in it? Who's in it?
George Clooney. He was the
Okay.
main character.
Okay. George Clooney. All right. I'll look that up. Geo. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna look.
I'm gonna put the name of it in the comments section, but let's see. Hold on. Let me see if I can look it up real quick. I know you gotta go. Um, I'm, I'm gonna just look it up real quick for you before you head out. Yeah, that's the name of it, Money Monster. It was made in 2016.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sound good.
Yeah, George Clooney. His character name is Lee Gates.
Okay, I'm gonna check that out as soon as we get off. Money Monster. Okay. Yeah, Rainy Woman said Money Monster. Okay. All right, sir.
All right, have a good one.
All right, later, man. Thank you everybody for joining today. Thank you. Much appreciated. If you caught the stream later, just listen to it in its entirety. If you don't get it now, 9 times out of 10 you'll get it later, because not everybody gets it right away. My videos are, you come along, something's different. You might not jump on board right away, but then you'll leave, and then you'll probably come back later, and then it will all click. That's how it happens. It might happen now, year, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3, hell, even 5 years, because it doesn't matter. All my content will always be relevant. So it will never matter the year you listen to it, because it will always be valid, because psychological capitalism will always be here, at least in my lifetime. There's not a chance in hell that psychological capitalism will disappear before I'm dead. I highly doubt that. Thank you, everybody. Andre, it was a pleasure. I'm just an alien for sure. Enigma, Reigning Woman, Wealth Talk Productions. Thank you, everybody, for joining today. Have a good one.